What is your "this person has no idea how the real world works" moment? For more infotainment, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates. Thanks for watching. My cousin and I were talking one day and I mentioned that I had a horrible sense of direction, where my brother could be dropped off in a cornfield and find his way home. She replied that it was easy to find your direction, just remember never eat shredded wheat and you will know where north is. I laughed and said that was for remembering the directions in order, not for finding which way was which. We argued for 20 minutes till I told her to show me how it works. She stands up and points forward and says never eat shredded wheat. And points to the direction she was facing when she stood up. That's north. So I told her to face me and then find north. She does it again. Never eat shredded wheat. And points at me and says that's north. So ask her if north just changed? She says no. But north was that way a minute ago. She looks confused and says why didn't that work? I told her it was because she was an idiot. My brother wanted to be a game designer. I asked how that was going and what he had been doing. Mom had gone to Walmart to pick up some art supplies so he could get designing. He did not really know what coding was in terms of game design, and did not know graphic design. He thought he could simply just draw up some swords and guns and shields and someone would pay him to do this for a living. With zero experience. He's almost 30. My little brother who was, and I fear still kinda is, adamant that he would grow up to be an actor all through high school without trying to pursue any acting related things. Quit drama club freshman year and never looked back. Didn't work towards getting into an acting program in college. Spent more time on his video games than acting, but I guess he was just banking on being discovered and put into roles due to handsomeness. It's hard enough to make that dream work for people who are actually trying. I had a classmate who prayed God would find him a role without him auditioning for anything. I pointed out that if he wanted something he had to work for it and put his name out there. He was not pleased. An old joke with a life lesson for these dreamers. John, who was in financial difficulty, walked into a church and started to pray. "Listen, God," John said. "I know I haven't been perfect, but I really need to win the lottery. I don't have a lot of money. Please help me out." He left the church. A week went by, and he hadn't won the lottery, so he walked into a synagogue. "Come on, God," he said. "I really need this money. My mom needs surgery and I have bills to pay. Please let me win the lottery." He left the synagogue. A week went by, and he didn't win the lottery. So, he went to a mosque and started to pray again. "You're starting to disappoint me, God," he said. "I've prayed and prayed. If you just let me win the lottery, I'll be a better person. I don't have to win the jackpot, just enough to get me out of debt. I'll give some to charity, even. Just let me win the lottery." John thought this did it, so he got up and walked outside. The clouds opened up and a booming voice said, "John, buy a lottery ticket." I worked on a group project with these two girls in high school. We had met up at a library over the weekend and when I pulled into the parking lot one of them said something about my car. I said yeah, I love this car, but someone keyed it in a parking lot all down the passenger side. Look how deep it is. I told her I couldn't fix it beyond some touch-up paint either because that would require sanding it down and all that. She looked me dead in the eye with a look like I was crazy and said, "Well, why don't you go buy some elbow grease? I hear that fixes everything." Dead serious. Girl had heard about Just Give It Some Elbow Grease and got it into her head that this was a product you could buy to fix just about anything. She did not contribute much to our group project. Had a woman call into work, banking, and ask for her mortgage payoff. It was like 40,000-ish. She said there was no way that was right because her payment book only had 3 more coupons in it and she thought it was done when the coupons were. She couldn't comprehend that she had a 30-year mortgage and that she didn't get a coupon book for all 30 years, she only got 3 years at a time and because she had an adjustable rate. I had to call backups to explain to her that she still owed 27 more years. Edit to add, location, rural PA. Probably a tiny home that needs work, 40k is possible in this area still. Coupon books tell you when your payment is due and what amount, if you don't bank online or want to mail a payment in. Amish and old folks still don't use internet here as a norm. A friend of mine decided to quit his job to become a Twitch streamer. Right off the bat I thought this was a stupid plan. But the real kicker was his timeline for his streaming career. He told me he saved enough money to pay his bills for 1 month. 1 month. And after that he would be making enough money from Twitch to pay his bills. He seriously believed that after 1 month he would have between 200 and 300 subs. He refused to advise or use any social media. He won't play any AAA games or even popular games. A year and a half later he's lost his apartment, his car, basically everything but his girlfriend, who he lives with. But hey, he just hit 50 subs followers on Twitch and got affiliated. To him this endeavor has been a total success. Edit, 50 followers not subscribers, got them mixed up. Edit2, well this blew up. I'm not telling you who my friend is, don't ask. I don't want him getting or trolled. One time I made the mistake of trying to do laundry in my dorm's laundry room during parents' weekend. I walked in to see rows of haggard-looking mothers with massive bags of their children's clothes. Laundry is free at our school, and the machines are ridiculously simple to use. One time in my dorm I put my clothes in the washing machine and realized that I forgot to bring my detergent down with me. I run back up, grab it, and come back to find a mom and her kid taking my dry clothes out of the washer so they could put his in. I politely asked them not to touch my stuff and they off. The real kicker is that most of the washing machines in the room were empty. How some people are so clueless is beyond me. Air Force. 18-year-old arrives at his first duty station. He has contacted nobody. Nobody knows he is arriving today. He has figured out, by stopping at different offices and asking, where our warehouse is, and enters the office to meet his supervision. Flanked by his girlfriend and his mother. Later on, it is discovered that he fudged his numbers on all his previous fitness tests to that point, which is why he could barely do 25 push-ups and couldn't run to save his life. Even later on, becomes hysterical, sobbing, panicking, begging and pleading when told he will deploy to Afghanistan. Like everyone else in the squadron had been doing, for years. This was 2012. We were logistics. We literally loaded airplanes all day. This is the kind of guy who shows up at parties and talks about his time in the service. Lordy, that sounds like my best friend's brother. He went into basic and then had some tendon issues or something and was let go. He came back after a month and a half acting shell-shocked and completely. I thought I may be mistaken and asked him how long he served for and how it was being in Afghanistan. He got all quiet/serious and told me he left toward the end of basic due to injuries. Dude acted like he'd seen some, and told people he'd served for the country, but it was all some sad act. Ugh, gave me the serious creeps and I quickly distanced myself thereafter. I encounter at least one per day. This morning was about mortgages. This woman was talking about moving to FL soon and putting her house on the market. I'm a first-time home buyer in my 20s, interested in buying something modest. She nonchalantly says that they'll probably ask for about 300k just to break even and move. I said yeah, that's way out of my price range, which is more like 180k. She is very confused and says that if I don't have a bunch of bills that should be very affordable for me. I ask her how much she thinks that monthly payment would be and she says maybe 2k. I say yeah, at least, plus homeowner's insurance, car payment, gas, healthcare, phone bill, water bill, electric bill, internet bill, groceries, 401k, etc. On single income. I'm lucky to have a job with good benefits, and I'm aware of that, but I'm far from making six figures. The fact is, This woman works as a cafeteria cashier and married into money, and she's absolutely clueless about budgeting, even in her 50s.